Hi guys, I'm doing this reading that came out of, this question came out of one of the comments that somebody left on the reading on Robert Mercer, the recent reading. And this reading, that reading was one of the very, I feel like a kind of like a breakthrough, okay? And the reading suggests, well, you can watch the reading. So essentially it has to do with the plans that people had to topple the government, to quote unquote destroy the government in ways that libertarians are, they openly court, okay, they want this to happen or whatever. So I feel like from what I'm seeing more and more, there's definitely a connection to, and you can see that in the news as well. There's several countries, there's Russia, there's Robert Mercer, possibly the Koch. There's just they want to change the government in the US, the system of government, so that the US becomes in a way more like an oligarchy, okay? Where a handful of people have power and they do whatever they want and help out their friends, and that's it, okay? And the population, it's essentially becoming like a third world country with the added and creating wars and so forth. So I feel like there was a plan. And so the question is twofold. A, what was their plan? And B, how do they feel their plan is going? Okay, because I feel like a lot of the readings that I've been doing seem to suggest that that stuff's gonna come out, they'll be caught, okay? But then at the same time, there's the reading I did about the White House and what's going on behind the scenes of the White House also suggests that they know that shit's coming soon. So, and a lot of people I know still are fearful that Trump might win. So that's what I want to know. Is like, A, what was their plan? Two, or B, how do they feel that, like, what's their assessment of how well they're doing? And then three, what will be the outcome? Will they succeed or will they fail? Because we're not, it's not over yet. Obviously, I still think that Mueller is working on it. So it's going to be the situation, like what do they want? Okay, so tell me about the cards, please. Cards, glasses. What do they want? What was their grand plan? And then two, how do they feel right now about the plan? And then three, what's going to be the outcome of their plan? Okay, because the card suggests that Mueller's going to win and that most of them are going to go to jail. So I just want to know almost like from a bigger picture perspective. So tell us about this plan they had, okay? And what was it like, what they wanted, okay? And then, okay, so I'm just trying to remove this. Okay, tell us about their plan. What was their plan? Oh, look. Interesting. Guys, actually, I'm seeing something here, this Nine of Pentacles I hadn't noticed before in relationship to, I know what they like. This card is also, if you see this woman, she's usually, it's like the successful woman who, sort of like a boss or something, or like being well off in a way. But if you look at the card, it's, let me show you. I think of it now, natural resources. It makes a lot of sense. So they wanted natural resources, okay, essentially. They're going after natural resources aggressively. This is aggression. And they wanted to shake things up and to create a downfall, right? This is really like what they wanted, okay? So it's like they wanted to take the natural resources, to take the resources and create a downfall. That's what I get, right? It's like the destruction element here. What do they want? What was their plan? Opportunity, conversation, and also bots. So this would make sense. Internet stuff, money, opportunity to use Also to change the narrative, right? Opportunity for the narrative, for the conversation, for the bots and trolls to get money. And they get money by turning everything upside down. And then, okay, so what was the master plan? This is Russia stuff, guys. And notice how this connects to this. This is also natural resources. I think this is Russia. Let's see. Oh, look, yeah, foreign power. Resources abroad and resources in general, and I think Russia. Oh, look, justice. Oh, it's also changing, guys. They wanted to affect also, right, the Justice Department or the judicial system. Create change, topple something to get money and change use money, or that the judicial system would help them. So man, okay, well, let's see. I always need another card. Oh, look. Yeah, problem. So this is the solution, the torre. Upside down, it's like becomes a problem. Leggerezza, so it's like, I think it's just a lightness and communication, quick communication. It's also like a kind of a transfer, communication transfer. I feel like, yeah, interesting. Look, the fake servant. So I feel like essentially, this was an opportunity to acquire natural resources, probably related to Russia, and I think they may have proceeded that way as a solution, but this became a problem. Okay, and here, aggressive conversation, changing the way, this is the AI bots, Twitter stuff, done abroad quickly. This is like the online conversation, also creating change, kicking the guys. And I'm getting an image of Trump kicking something. Like, I'm going to kick the government. I'm going to kick it down. Like, they want to destroy the government, get money. Affect the judicial system. You see the judges here. This is prominent here, okay? The judicial system, and with a fake servant, okay? So subvert the law so they could get, guys, this is so weird. It's like, it really is like the mob, because I'm getting this very horrible sense of like, we're gonna kick everything down so we can get whatever the fuck we want. That's like this horrible energy of like, we can change, again, this connection of both, a lot of arrogance, like we're gonna change, use AI to change everything and then get what we want. And then do it by force by changing the legal system and putting people, this is the loyal, the fake servant, meaning the people that are loyal to them but don't really, right? It's like they don't really, the fake servant, like look at the Trump's appointees, they're all supposedly serving, they're not serving anything, they serve themselves. So that was the plan. Now, where do they think, like, what is, it's obviously there's no such a thing as a pure consensus, but how do they feel things are going right now? Justice is wrong. Interesting. Justice. Interesting. Subverting, oh God, look, subverting justice in order to get what they want. I feel like either they want to subvert justice or justice is going against their good fortune. So this is interesting because justice is negative. I think it's both actually, that justice is obviously going against them, but it's also that they're trying to subvert justice so they can keep their fortune. Okay, and okay, this is interesting. Okay, a change in the public, interesting. Change in the public, in society. This is government. Change in the public government. Public change in the government. This would tell me that it's also that there's a change in the, I feel like they didn't expect so much resistance. Okay, this is Trump. Okay, I think they're very worried. Great, gloomy thoughts because of a change. Okay, so again, interesting that there's a suggestion of change and that they're not prepared for, they're super worried because they put Trump in place. But it's almost like, guys, because it's a momentum, like, okay, this is kind of like a bad example, but like, I don't know, this weird examples that came to my mind. Like, I don't know if you've like, I remember watching, I've never been a like a weightlifter person, but I remember reading, I watched this documentary once and like reading, I read about it from time to time. I sometimes like lift weights, whatever, but not that strongly. But anyway, so essentially, like when people do these competitions, I think I have a friend who did that, or like, it's like they go through these very radical diets, right? Sometimes they don't even drink water properly, so they can look like their muscles are really cut and stuff, but it involves sometimes not eating, like eating nothing, whatever, or like not drinking water. There's some shady stuff like that. So then, of course, they do the competition, they can win, but then immediately after, things go back, to normal. Sometimes they gain weight or whatever. It's kind of like this situation. It's like the balance was achieved through, not cheating. It was kind of, well, we think the election was stolen, but it's almost like the balance they achieved was false. So quickly it returns to the, you know what I mean? To the natural state. And then that's what's happening. I think they weren't prepared because, in a way, Trump's victory was fake. There's something illegal about it. They didn't understand that it was not going to last, because you could argue that Obama's change was real, okay, that there was a real cultural moment. There was a lot of things that made it real, that made it happen, and that his popularity is real. Okay, it's not something, you don't need bots to tell us. You don't need Russian troll farms to say that we like Obama, because we actually like Obama. You know what I mean? So that's what I feel like. It's almost like they can't really manipulate the public as much as they want it. So the luck, they're worried about their fortune in the public eye. Society isn't true, because society is at the center and have change here and change here. So there's something illegal about Trump, right? And I feel like at the same time, justice is changing against Trump. Okay, and they're worried now. Interesting. Like this or like this. Okay. Here we have love. Okay, interesting. Oh, they love money. Really? No way. What? Oh no, unexpected. Love of money unexpected. It's almost like there's something. It's almost like it seems that they're concerned with money or with implementing financial changes, and so they are not noticing the strength at the same time, the strength of what's happening. Okay, so there's change happening against Trump. I think most of them seem to know it, but it's also the degree of change is unexpected. Okay, so this is this. And then I'm going to, this is kind of scary, guys. Like, I hope, let's see what's happening. So what is the verdict? Do they win? The people who had these plans, do they win or do we win? Scary. Okay, so what happens? What is the final outcome here? Quid pro quo, money. Uh-oh, creates an ending. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Secret gift. Oh my God, because guys, I was like, before the cards came, it's like secret gift exposed, and it came out. I was like, yes. So yeah, the secret deal is exposed, bitches. Oh look, you had a marriage? Yeah, still connected. Wait, didn't I see this? I saw this already. Did I put it back? Guys, it's so weird. Okay, what the hell? Did I? Yeah, it's funny. It's a situation. I'm like, have I shuffled? Yes, I have. So yeah, again, the deal with quid pro quo money related to the White House. Loss. This is good. Loss. Lack of happiness. Stuff is discovered. So yeah, guys, I feel like there's going to be an ending. Okay, so definitely looks like there's loss here, because once the deal is exposed, okay, and there's an ending here. There's an ending to, once this communication is exposed, it looks like there's an ending. But let's see, will these people will they succeed? Will they go to jail? What's going to happen? Yeah, I feel like once the secret quid pro quo deal comes out, it looks like they will leave. But let's just a bit more detail here, and then I'm gonna close my eyes. Okay, what else? Bad news, new ideas, victory, an ending. They're guilty. Their reputation ends. I'm so sorry for you. No, no, no. Here, short illness. They can't do anything about it. A child. Yeah. Child's guilty. Their money. The money. Okay, so. Shady business partners. Oh, look, baby. Shady baby. Strategy. Yeah, I feel like you guys, this is like there's an ending. Bad news, there's an ending. They can't do anything about it, and they're shady business partners. Okay, so new beginning, kind of like new. They're guilty, and there's the child twice. So guilty baby, the guilty child. So, and then reputation of the money strategy. See one more here. Yeah, shit gets real. These people are unhappy. Wait. You know, guys, it's weird because I feel like I saw these cards. It wasn't in the other reading. It's so funny they came back. Yeah, so it's like they're sick. Yeah, I don't think, guys. I feel like if I look at these cards, I could also see it as like there's a breakthrough. There's clarity about everything is recognized about their money and their strategy. So no, I think things come out and they look ending, a painful ending to their reputation. That's literally like what it says. There's a painful ending to their reputation. It doesn't really tell me that I wanted to get, I think generally speaking, they will like suffer the consequences because it says ending to their reputation. So the plan is not going to work. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna close my eyes, guys. So, all right, spirits, please give me bubble, pink light, protection. Tell us what the plan was. Yeah, it's showing them like, they even had a world map where the resources they wanted were and what they wanted, how much money they could make from, almost like a market assessment. And they knew who their allies were, and they had their resources, which were the programmers, the hate stuff, their strategy. And they want to destroy, almost like, guys, they want to destroy their government. They want to be like a militia, like kind of like operate outside the law. So, so they felt like Trump was like, he could speak, those, like they could use, it's almost like Trump was part of like, it sounds like a crazy thing to say, but it's almost like Trump was like an algorithm. He was like they could control, he could be put into use, and it worked. And the Russians, I feel like the people who really worked for this were the Russians. It's almost like maybe a little bit of Chinese. Are they Chinese? I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I feel like there's people, the Russians, but those people like maybe the Middle East also. I feel like there's people talk back and forth about who could help them. And so they were ecstatic. They're like, oh my God, you know what? And the Trump winning emboldened them. And they made mistakes because they just became arrogant. So this was like, the Comey thing is saying it was a big mistake, kind of like what Bannon said. And so, yeah, it's showing almost like Trump in those rallies, but it's showing the whole thing falling apart. It's showing like the stage breaking, almost like, symbolic image, like the whole thing falls apart for them and they're exposed. So, that dream people have, like a lot of people, oh, I had a dream I was naked walking, whatever. It's kind of like Trump is naked on a stage. Everything comes out, like they're suddenly like it's almost like the people who are behind the scenes, they were always behind it. Suddenly they're exposed and they're like naked. Okay, so So that's what I think. And there's no way to defend. It's almost like not just that the election, not the stuff just about the elections, that their goals were like, how do you say it? Because it's almost like you could argue that, for example, in a lot of quote unquote revolutions, even the French Revolution and so forth, the goal was something egalitarian or something like where it would benefit more people. Okay? This is the opposite. This is why it's like, I'm not saying that fake elections are ever justified, but what I mean is that it's not as if they said, oh, let's do something that benefits the it's like there was nothing good about it. Okay, they not only would they cheat, but also the reasons for cheating were wrong, were sick. And these are people who are successful, and it's going to show. I still say the Koch brothers. All these people, the Mercers, a lot of people with a lot of money, a lot of power. It wasn't enough for them. Okay, and this is what's going to be like the cautionary tale here. Okay, that they it's saying like even with all their money, it was like they overstepped the boundaries, or like they're not Jesus. They're saying they're not God. You can't do those things. It's not right. Like just because you can force things to happen, you can pay people, you could get all these schemes. It's almost like it was a complicated like corporation strategy or almost, but it's not what government is for. Okay, so this is something they worked on for a long time, but I think it's going to be exposed. And this is what it's saying. It's like the exposure, the unmasking of these people is going to be like, wow, like shocking, what they really wanted and what the agenda really was. Okay, and the lengths they went to, but but it's going to also show that from their perspective, even though he was careless, he was like, well, we wanted everything, so why not just get it? Okay, so it's going to be like, I feel like they're going to be naked. Okay, I don't think that, I don't get a sense that they're going to succeed in turning the country into a dictatorship and stuff, like, which is like, that's, I think, what they're trying. And so it's just that, and Trump, it's saying God bless, saying, oh, God bless him, he really keeps on going, and we know it. And I think the problem for them later is going to be that these are people who never had to answer to anyone. They never had to, they follow the law on a basic level, but they've never been, it's showing me like an African-American people that are like walking down the street and people call the cops on them. You know what I mean? It's not like that. It's like they're used to people treating them so well just because of like how they look and the fact they wear whatever clothes, and everybody knows they're rich. So they lived in a world of privilege that shielded them from the reality of like everyday people. So once they are exposed, they don't understand what's happening to them, because they're like, wait, what? It's almost like a fall from grace, but they didn't know they were privileged. This is what is a little strange, is that I feel like they didn't know that, it's almost like they didn't understand that their lives were like, in a way, an accident of birth. Most of them came from money, and that it's not because you were special, it's because you were an accident of birth. So they abused the accident of birth and understood what life is like for most people now. Okay, so they're now, it's almost like, oh, the person that some of them, I don't know if all of them, are recognizing that what it's like to be a regular person, quote unquote. Okay, it's funny. Not funny. It's not funny at all. But like, that's what I think. I hope, guys, because who knows if this is going to happen. But I feel like it's showing me not so much of like, I think there's obvious justice in here involved, but it's almost like it reminds me of Greek tragedies. When I was little, my first book, the book I really liked, was like this tome of Greek. Oh my God, yeah, not Greek tragedies, but yeah, myths, like all these like all this Greek stories about people who wanted too much, this human behavior and all those things. Very interesting, and that's what I feel like. It's sort of like the Greek. It's almost like a Greek. There's a Greek element to this. Okay, to their punishment, almost as if it's not just about getting sentenced or anything. It's more like these people had it all, and then they decided that they were going to get more because they could, and it didn't work because they were exposed, and things and everything in a way, I think it's going to change the country, guys, once this changes for the better. But I think a lot of ideas, I think, that the U.S. is based on are going to have to change, okay? Because it's for the first time, I think we're going to see the skeleton of all the kind of like the evil, right? All these policies that like we were almost taught to think that it was not, oh, it's okay that not everyone has a health insurance, but they can have, you know, all these discounts and everything. This is going to change things a little bit, okay? Not a little bit, what I mean, like, I don't know. I'm not saying, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm a little tired, but I hope I'm making sense. Like, it's gonna change, okay? Things are gonna change. And it's almost like the people who are resisting, it's like they knew that the new spirit was coming, but they were trying to like, oh, no, we can change. We can hold the hurricane, and they can't. So that's gonna be the outcome, okay? All right.